All right, now, no, they ordered me, I cannot cross Lakshman Rekha. Right? So, because they have to move around me. That is okay. All right. Okay. Uh, uh, I just little bit tell you more about couple of things in a sense. Jain e-library, I hope most of you may be fully aware about it. I'm in charge of the Jain e-library, which has, in 10 years ago, we started that project. Today we have more than 3 million pages of Jain literature. We got 57,000 members from over 150 countries. Okay, and more than 600,000 books being downloaded. It's all free. Sky is the limit, and we are continuously adding 25 to 30,000 pages every month. We are continuously adding. In addition to that, anybody who sends me the PDF file, okay, we upload that. Okay, we review it, and most of the things now we generally upload it. Okay, so it's one of the really big and huge library, and it is done like all sects of Jainism. All right, that literature. Not only that, we have done also interfaith, means the Hinduism, Buddhism, some important scriptures. Okay, so these are the kind of the things we are trying to do it. Everything is done by volunteers, so that's what you have to keep in mind. And only thing we pay is the scanning. It's a laborious work, and the scanning is the things we do it. But rest of the things are the website development. The whole website is free. We never paid any money. Everything is done by the volunteers. So you can just imagine how that useful tools. If you need any books, you can find it from the Jain library. And if you don't find it, please let me know. I'll get the books. I got access to several libraries where I can find the book, scan it, and put it in, upload it on the e-library. So keep that thing in mind. Look, if you're looking for some material which is not available, you just let me know. But give me the full details, book name, language, how many pages, approximately, so that we don't go into the different types of the books. Okay? Yeah.
Like, do we have the notes for CDs or anything that we can download from the library?
The entire library?
No, like the notes for in the CD form. Somebody sent me it and some. Like
In CD? You know how much my folder size is?
it's a big one.
More than 300 gigabits. More than 300 gigabits. Okay? You know how many CDs you need? Okay, so no. So that's the point I'm trying to say. We did it in the beginning. We published the 4 DVDs, put 2,000 books on it, the first 2,000 books. Then next 2,000 we did 4 DVDs, and then we quit. I thought this is no way. Now, okay, yeah.
It can fit on this.
Huh?
Yeah, it will fit on this.
How many? What's the gigabit size? That's okay. Now let me proceed further. I just have the library. Just download whatever you want to download. No question asked. All right, and that's the point I'm trying. But I just wanted to let you know, and we can discuss it offline. Let's not think about all these things. Okay. Now, who are the newcomers coming? Who hasn't introduced themselves? You want it? Yeah. Can you? Get up and just come on over here and introduce yourself. Okay, go ahead. That's all right. Now, stay. You want to, whatever you want. Just stand the audience. All right.
Cool. Hello. Sorry, I'm here late. Traffic.
Just name, rank, and serial number. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Somil Mehta, and I am a local rep with the Young Jain Professionals, and I've been Youth Activities Coordinator for the 2009 Jaina Convention. So I've been planning to be involved with 2019 Jaina Convention as well. Anything else?
Thank you. Okay, anybody, like, okay, what we want to do, we can start now, I hope, no.
So start with today's date, session 1.
Right. No, I'm going to start now. Let me explain you. The way I wanted to proceed, today I'm going to take an independent topic, which are the last two presentations, world religion. In the world religion, what I want to do just to make sure, because we live in the environment which is a Judeo-Christianity environment, all right? We want to understand them. How do we stack up with them? I'm not going to be really teaching. I'm going to go at a very high level, okay? The common features of Judeo-Christianity versus common features of Eastern religion, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. And I'm going to go a little bit more on Hinduism separately, Buddhism separately, and Jainism separately, okay? Because that will be the only that much time I will have it today, between 7 to 9, okay, or 9:15, okay? This way, the reason is we are starting from very high level, that where does the Jainism fit, all right, among all the major world religion faith, and starting tomorrow, right from fundamentals, we are going to start, okay? What my biggest emphasis is how to understand Jain principles and how to apply them, okay? There will not be any rituals, anything like that, but we will explain you the purpose and the meaning of the rituals, okay? Purpose and the meaning of all the rituals when the time comes into that way. But most important aspect is Jain principles, properly understanding the principles, and then how to apply in my life these principles. Okay? So this way, there is not going to be a big theory and big, now I will explain you the concept of the karma philosophy. But I'm not going to go into classification, sub-classification, and their sub-classifications, okay? That will put you to sleep if I go into all those details into it. So keep that thing in the mind. I'm going to explore the principles and make sure we don't violate the Jain principles. All the rituals, what we do, is based on time, place, and circumstances. However, we cannot violate the principles while doing that one. The principles are kind of a universal truth. Anything other than that, the principles, okay, is based on time, place, and circumstances. All right? So we will putting more emphasis on understanding the principles. Before even I start, I want you to throw one question to everybody. I was in Atlanta, not my workshop time, but before that, during Parishun time. And I asked one question first of all, that if you have a time of 1 hour, okay, just 1 hour, no spare time, and you got 2 choices. You can do Samaik, or you can do social work. Let's say you go and work in a hospital. I'm not asking what would you like to do. What I'm asking is, what is your understanding of Jainism? What Jainism tells us between the 2 choices, what should I do? Should I do Samaik, or should I do social work? All right? So naturally, when I ask the question, then I ask how many people thinks Jainism tells them to do Samaik? And more than 80%, at least 80% raise their hand. Then I said, okay, how many says no? And you find like 20% or less type number. They say their understanding is Jainism tells us to do social work, between the two choices. After that, in 10 minutes, I explain what Jainism tells us to do. Then I repeat the question. What happens? The 80% becomes 20%, and 20% becomes the 80%. So me in my guy like just said, if a guy like me comes first time, in 10 minutes of the explanation, I can change this many people's mind. What kind of the knowledge base of Jainism you people have, where just in short time, you have changed your mind. I mean, I haven't done anything different. I'm not going to discuss that question here. What I'm trying to say, please, that's why, understand, we will do it on Sunday. I'll explain you all that one, okay, in the question and answer. But what I'm trying to bring it out, what we think we know Jainism, it's really, we are programmed culturally. And we are repeating because what my parents done or what my tradition is been doing it, and we are thinking this is what Jainism tells us to do it, okay? In reality, you are blindly following tradition without understanding. If you follow the tradition with understanding, then you really realize, and that's the most important, what are the principles, what are the principles behind these principles, and how we can apply that principle and be watchful. Am I really violating any of these principles or not? Okay? So, first of all, I'm going to start with the world religion things. And world religion, yeah, any question? Yeah.
One request. Just announce that for people who are watching on YouTube can download the slides. There is a link available.
Okay.
Just announce it.
Where is the link? Do you have it?
Right below the picture they see.
Okay. You want to do it?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I can just announce it, but sometimes no.
Yeah, no.
I'm not clear, what link and where did you put all the links and everything. So if you can.
Jai Janendra. Those who are watching on YouTube, you can download all these slides. There is a link right below in the description area. That'll make it easier for you, and we'll focus more on Pravin Bhai. Thank you.
What happened? Okay.
You can tell us which file he's going to reference every time.
Yeah, every time we were to do that. Because he may jump around.
Yeah, which is fine, but
Yes.
just let him know.
Right. If he doesn't, we will jump.
6L, where is it? Actives, third control. Where is my slides? Workshop 6L. Okay. Okay, can you open the 11th, like interfaith world religion summary? Okay. Sorry, let me open this is what I did, is PDF file open instead of PowerPoint. Sorry. No, 1 minute, I'm sorry, I know. Okay, and can you? Sure. Go ahead, make the slides come in, okay? All right, now. All right, let me just say, what I'm done, I'm looking at 20,000 feet above and seeing the common features of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam together, okay? And comparing our common features of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, all three together. There are variations do exist, okay? But all the topics and everything what I'm discussing, all right, you will see how these things stacks up to each other. Okay, next slide.
This was section 11,
This is slides 11.
part 11.
Yeah, diversity.
Oh, you have to go all the way in.
It's fine.
Yeah, and then you find. But that's it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, this is the one. You get only one paragraph.
Okay, no, but it shows only Eastern, not the Western. It does not show the Western.
It does. Yeah, you will. Go ahead.
No, not last before. Okay, sorry about the thing is, we made one mistake here. Okay. Jain authors now.
Yeah, just before that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here, it's right here.
Yeah, okay. These are the two things. Okay. All right. Now, this book I compiled many years ago. Actually, in 1994, when the YJA first convention occurred in Chicago, and since now our children are growing up with all other communities that way, so I thought, let me put something together, and I'll show you the book. This is the book. All right. Tomorrow you will get free copy for all the convention attendees. Each religion, we compile like 3-4 pages in a one standard format, and making sure that you can, this book becomes so popular among interfaith groups and the various churches group. We have distributed $1 a copy, only very cheap in a sense, but more than 30,000. Okay, this book. So just what I'm trying to say, we put it together, bringing it out, and sometimes we could not even find their application. One of the group in the hospital, the chaplain group, their convention, the convention in charge person calls me. He said, please send me 2,000 copies because I wanted to give this one to every convention attendees. So when they communicate with terminally ill patients, at least which faith the person belongs to, he can read 2-3 pages so that he can communicate that way properly. So this book is like church. Many churches, they buy these books, okay, and it is been publicized. We as a Jain are in a proper position because we are not threat to any religion. I can able to write Islam and I can write to Christianity, and nobody feels any threatened by my writings, okay? Otherwise, it is extremely difficult to write about other religions. It is extremely, and I'm an interfaith director also. So what happens is, I have access to all the resources. I reviewed with each person's religion before, when I compiled, I reviewed with them just to make sure that in general everything is okay. So, and these are the religions, what you are seeing it. All right, these are the religions I covered it. Most of you know it, some of the things with the symbolism. No, you got to know which religion is. Like, of course, Jainism is right in the middle. Next to Jainism is the Buddhism. Then there's the Islam. Right underneath is the Sikhism. Okay. Underneath, what is that symbol? Right underneath the Sikhism, the dagger, it is a Confucianism. Right, Shinto, Taoism, all the way to the middle. Okay. Then Judaism. All right. Do you know the next one after Judaism? Zoroastrian. Yeah. Right. Okay. Christianity, Hinduism, and.
You tell us.
It's a Baha'i religion, okay? That's what I put it in this book. All these religions, just a few summaries, synopsis, and that's the reason if our children at least can read and learn and can communicate, where it happens. Because we got to know our children. Last time we did the statistics, it's a crude statistics, but 70% of Jain children are marrying now outside. 70% is a big number, right? My own daughter married American, whose father is Jews, mother is Christian, right? And I got 2 granddaughters, right? The Jain Jews and the Christian and the Christians, right? So you can see all the combination, but what we are facing. All right. So that's every family, one or the other way, and maybe you have one generation will last, but after that, second generation will be all mixed up. Okay, everything like that. So more we know about other religions, we will have better understanding, the strong points and the weaknesses in that one. Next. Okay. Oh, you are great. Thank you. What I'm talking about, how does each religion going to explain man's suffering? Because that is the only things we need the religion. If we are not suffering, we don't need religion. All right? So how does these things explains the suffering of human being? Okay? Creation of the universe. How does that, each religion views that topic? The true God, proof of knowing God, path to the God and salvation, destiny, evil, hell, conduct and virtue, religious origin, reality, doctrine, and ascetic life. Okay, so we are going to brush up how this Judaism, Christianity, and Islam together looks at that subject, and how does Eastern religion, which is Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, looks at that one. Okay. Next, man's suffering. Here's the Western view. Why we suffer? Suffering is due to disobedience of the God's will, not believing and not accepting His law. The key word is disobedience. Man did not obey God's law. Don't eat that apple. Okay. The thing is this way. That's a law. All right. Adam and Eve, the story, the whole thing is this way. Why humanity is suffering? That is the prime things. Okay. But key point is the disobedience. Keep that thing in a word. If you truly obey, then you will not suffer. If you truly follow or obey the God's law, you will not suffer. So that's the key point. Accepting God's will, one true God and religion ensures that one will enjoy God's grace in eternal heaven. All right? So it's the same thing, but don't be disobedient. No, obedience of the God's law. Eastern, suffering is due to soul's or man's ignorance of its own nature. I am suffering because I don't know who am I. My own ignorance, I'm suffering. Whether it's a Hinduism, Buddhism, or Jainism. All three has the same thing. We don't know who we are. That's why we are suffering. All right? So one is the disobedience, another is ignorance. Ignorance of my own nature. I'm not talking ignorance of anybody else. Okay? Ignorance that I am soul, I'm not the body. And what are the qualities of my soul? If I know I am a soul, am I really practicing as per the soul's quality? Or my conduct is as per my own pure soul's quality? Because I don't know that, I'm not practicing that way, that's why I'm suffering. All right? Suffering is due to ignorance, the path which leads to, can you make it a little smaller so all the oh, okay, all right, that's all right. The path which leads from ignorance to knowledge allows souls to attain immortality, liberation. Once I know who am I, and I practice accordingly, then I'm liberated. There's nothing else. All right? And it's all three common between the two religions. Next. Any question here? I'm just saying, this is the most important one I'm trying to tell you. The one concept is disobedience, another is ignorance. And that's disobedience or ignorance. That's the main theme at a very high level. Okay.
Jain philosophy my disobedience to our
One minute. Huh? Let's not. No, 1 minute. Let's not digress right now. Okay, just listen to this one.
Let your rule know them. I think he came late, so he doesn't know this.
Oh, you were not here when we defined the rules? Okay. All right. Okay. Just the thing, if you have a question right now, I wanted to continue. All right. Thank you. All right. All right. Yeah.
One question. You say that about 20% of our kids are marrying the other faith, or their spouse from the other faith. So, in addition to know what are the differences, I also want to know what is same, because somewhere there is incongruence, because we are human beings, and I know that those husband and wives who are from two different faith, they do get along okay. So there is some kind of commonality.
We are coming here. We are just, so like I said, don't step further. Whatever I explain, do you see any problem right now? Okay, the commonality in everything, I bring it here, and once we complete it, most of the answer you will find in this book. So just put little effort. If you take the books, read it. If you have any questions, all right, I will be glad to discuss. No, of any faith. I'm not taking anything other. All right. Next one, 1 minute. Creation of the universe. Yeah. Anything? Okay. Creation of universe. How do they explain the creation theory? Created by God at one point in time. In future, it will forever destroyed by Him. He is separate from it and rules it above. It's a dualistic nature. What is dualistic nature? Is God is separate, then His creation, which is the universe. It's two separate things. God existed before the creation. Universe is created, and He will destroy it in future, but He will be there permanent. All right? It's a linear. That is the concept. In Eastern religion, exist in the endless cycles of creation, preservation, and destruction. It's an endless cycle. No absolute beginning and end of the world. No duality of God and world, but a unity. That's a key point I want to explain, whether it's a Hinduism, Jainism, or Buddhism. This particularly things now, when we use the word, it is more Hinduism things, all right? That God created the universe. You know the story of Brahma and how these things are being made. What Christianity says, God created universe. And when Hindu says God created universe, there are two different concepts. The wordings are same. In Hinduism, when they say God created the universe, it is not God is separate than the universe. God becomes the universe. Okay? God Himself becomes the universe. Brahma expands himself and becomes the whole universe. It is not a separate, but unity. What I'm trying to explain you here is God is Upadan in Hinduism. When you become the universe, every element in the universe is a part of God. It's a God part. Okay?
Just like our soul. Just like our soul.
Yeah, right. Absolutely right. Yes. But what I'm trying to bring it out here, because Hinduism, Buddhism is a majority, the religions. Okay? So when you say when God becomes the universe, means God is Upadan. In Judeo-Christianity, God is Nimit. Okay? I don't want to go with those who are familiar of Jain terminology, they will understand it. Okay, otherwise, it is God is separate than the universe. Like in Hinduism, God and universe is one. It's a synonymous. Even though we call it Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, but it is a one form, three different aspects, what we are now trying to say. So, now this is a very powerful concept in one way. Okay, if I truly believe every element of the universe is a God, means everything, I can see myself in every man. Whom am I going to cheat? Whom am I going to lie? Okay, whom am I going to fight? It is same thing as me, myself. Right? If we truly believe that one, do they really need 5 great vows? You see what I'm saying? If everything is me, what am I going to do? Okay? All the things, peace and harmony. It's a very powerful concept in Hinduism when they bring it out, that God becomes the universe. So if you destroy universe, you have destroyed God. God is gone along with the universe. It is like, classic example is now, clay becomes the pot. There is no difference between pot and clay. But pot maker and pot is the difference. In Christianity, pot maker is a God and pot is the universe. While in Hinduism concept point of view, clay becomes a pot. There is no difference between clay and pot. Okay? That's all about it. Next. Okay. Western religion. There is only one true God and one true religion. That's a belief. Okay? God is loving as well as wrathful. Okay, angry God. If you look at it, if you read Old Testament, okay, particularly Old Testament is the Jewish Bible, and God gets so angry, destroying the whole world because he did not like his own creation. All right, and all the Noah's Ark and Noah and the whole thing, he saved all the species, and he starts all over again, the whole universe, and destroys everything. All right? So it's like angry God and also the loving. But when you come to Christianity, it is all loving. All right? So you got Judeo-Christianity, you got that situation. Those who accept God's wills will enjoy God's grace in eternal heaven. All others will suffer eternally in a hell. Now that's another concept. Eternal hell. There is no hope. Once you are there in the eternal hell, okay, there is no way you can come out. Eastern, one true and absolute self for God. The Eastern religion is now self and God is interchangeably used at the high level. I'm talking about. Like you talk about Jainism, it's a self. You take up Buddhism, there is no self even. Okay, the concept of the Buddhism, we'll talk about it. Okay, the Buddhism, and of course Hinduism, the self of God. Many images of one supreme God. God is pure bliss and consciousness. There are many paths to God by the way of understanding, temperament, and maturity. All souls are destined to receive liberation. Okay, we have variations are there, and I'm not going to discuss that kind of the variation. But in general, that's the general concept. Next. Proof of knowing the God. Indirect proof through prophets, Messiah, or Paigambar. That's again, all the different words mean the same thing. There is you can attain, you can know the God through prophets, through Messiah, okay, through Paigambars. That's the, there is a somewhere there is a middle person, and you can reach God not directly, but through them. All right? Christ is saying that, no, I can take you to my, Father's place, okay, through me. And so that's through his unchanging and unique revealed scriptures. Scripture is the highest authority. In Western religion, Scripture is the highest authority. It is essential to seek personal knowledge of God. Ultimately, one must have a belief and faith in God coupled with the virtuous life. This is another point. The Western religion significantly emphasizes virtuous life. Okay, that is the just concept in the Western religions. Direct proof through self-realization. Eastern, there is no middle person. All right? You have to. There is no other way. There is a direct proof through self-realization. There is nobody between you and Supreme, which is Supreme Soul or Supreme God. Doesn't matter. Whatever the words you want to use. Indirect proof through enlightened Guru and the revealed scriptures. Now, keep that thing in mind. In the initial stage, Guru is essential. Essential, that means, can take you and guide you in the proper path. But ultimately, you have to realize it. Self-realization is ultimately, you have to do it. There is no other one can give you. Nobody can give you anything. You have to be earned by yourself. We always say, well, God's grace, my Guru has given. That's only for the initial stage. It's the initial stage, you need it to guide you. But the true Guru will then disconnect the umbilical cord and say, now you are on your own. And now you achieve it. Okay? So that's the key point. Knowing is personal, inner, and mystical experience. Ultimately, one must directly know God during earthly life. First of all, it's a mystical experience. Do you know what mystical experience means? All three religions are mystical religions. What I mean by mystical religion is, any comment on mystical? What is mystical?
Beyond the senses. Beyond the senses.
Beyond the senses. That is true. That is also true. Okay? The mystical experience, in a sense, just in a simplified way, I'm trying to take. You cannot just equate 1 + 1 = 2. All right? I'll tell you a couple of examples, give you mystical example, okay? Papa Swami Ramdas is one of the Hindu saints. He made a statement that a human being cannot achieve anything until he puts all his effort, all the effort, whatever he needs to accomplish. And then he puts right second sentence, no one has achieved anything with effort. The first sentence, he's putting, you got to put all your effort in accomplishing whatever you want to accomplish it. And right after that, he said, no one has accomplished anything with effort. That's a mystical statement, what I'm trying to say. Because effort is absolutely needed. But with effort, without having other environment with you, like I'm looking for a job. I apply 15 different places, I put all my effort to find a job. But I don't get a job. Because the interview sometimes, the guy asked me the questions, I could not answer. No, it was only me. He asked that particular question, I didn't know it, right? So what I'm trying to say, the other circumstances were not in favorable with me, which is beyond my control. Okay, who would be the interviewable? That's why I did not get a job. All right? So that's why it is. But first you have to put all the effort. And then, like Bhagavad Gita said, what did the Krishna says to Arjun? Your duty to do the action. Leave the result up to me. Right? If you are not result oriented, then you will be depressed. All right? Gita is one of the most important, best book in a sense. You find all the variations of the human personality. You find the Gnan mark, you find Bhakti mark, you find Yoga. All right? That is why maximum commentaries in the world is written on the book Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So that's why it is called mystical. Okay? All right? Yeah.
What's the difference between that and faith? What's the difference between that and faith? Because when you said, Krishna said,
But faith, I agree. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, the difference between faith or predestination, okay, in a sense, all right? What is the difference? The Jainism will explain and will talk on the philosophy of karma that the 5 samvaya has to be existed it all the time. Only in my control is the purushartha. That is the only thing. All other aspects has to be favorable, then I will accomplish it. If other aspects are not favorable, then I will not be able to do it. Now you got it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was asking, that makes sense. My question was, how is it that different from faith? When Western religion says you need to have faith, that's F-A-I-T-H.
Oh, okay.
Faith, right? That is a little bit like saying that for them, that supreme God will put all those other circumstances in.
That's true. But that is their belief system. Okay, I have to have a faith. All right, if I am a Christian, in a true Christian, faith in the God's word, in the God's law, faith in the scriptures. Okay, whatever they are doing, they are telling me that's what I have to do. That is their belief system. That is the way we do it. And when we discuss Jainism, we'll come across all our system. Okay, now I'm not going to say don't make any judgment. This is right or this is wrong. Only you can make a judgment for yourself only. This is right for me or this is not right for me. That doesn't mean it is absolute right or absolute wrong. Okay? All right. Now, I can't even read the title.
Paths to God and salvation. Paths to God and salvation.
Path to God's and salvation. All right? Western. Only one path leads to God, others are false and fertile. Strictly dualistic. Man and God, God and man are separate. One must accept true religion, otherwise the soul laden with the sin will be damned on the judgment day. Now, there is a concept of judgment day. I'll explain a little bit, okay? What is the judgment day? Everybody can read it? Okay, that's good. Thank you, Rajesh. Okay, salvation is through the strict obedience of the God's will, through prophet and Messiah, and salvation comes at the end of the world. Okay, this is the basic premises on Judeo-Christianity. All right? I don't want to elaborate too much because I wanted to continue all these ones. This is very simple unless there is some particular point if you want me to elaborate it. But it's a dualistic nature. Man and God are separate. That's it. Okay? And one must accept the true religion, otherwise, on a judgment day. There is a question of judgment day. In Judeo-Christianity, there is a judgment day. Well, on the day of judgment, all dead weight rise, and God will punish the sinners to the eternal hell, and those who followed and practiced it, they will take it with him for eternal happiness. Okay? eternal heaven, whatever words you want to use that one. Salvation comes at the end of the world. All right, there is nothing now. Otherwise, after the death, you are in a limbo position, what I call it, okay? Until the judgment day comes, then you are putting either heaven or the hell. Freedom to choose your own form of worship. That's the freedom what we have now in the Eastern religion. Belief may be dual or non-dual. All path leads to God. Okay? I mean, the bhakti marg, the path of devotion, is a duality. The disciple and the God. All right? Or non-dual is like Jainism, Buddhism. Okay? They are non-dualistic of the nature. Even Hinduism in reality is non-dual. Okay, but in the beginning, as a path of devotion, it looks like there too. Salvation to be found in this life and within oneself. Sin is only of the mind, not of the soul, which is pure. God does not judge or punish. There is no judgment day. All right, next. Oh, is it working now?
This is next to this.
Okay. Proof of knowing the God. Direct proof through prophet, Messiah and Pegambar. Okay. Indirect proof through process. Through this unchanging and unique revealed scripture, these are like repetition of certain aspects of it. And ultimately one must have a belief and faith. That's an Eastern religion. Direct through self-realization. I think we already done, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, next one. True God. That's, I think, done. Right. Right. What is happening? Oh, okay. I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay, this is a new one, right? Okay. Done. Destiny. Man's destiny lies beyond this world, which is eternal joy in heaven and eternal suffering in hell. That's your ultimate destiny for the man. Eastern purpose of life to evolve through experience into higher spiritual destiny and ultimately attain liberation and nirvana. Okay, evil. A genuine evil exists in the world which opposes God's will. Is the Satan. The concept of Satan, all right, forcing Eve just to make sure, right? You know all the stories, okay? That's a genuine evil exists into it. Evil is embodied in Satan and his demons and partially in a man as one of his tendencies. We all have bad karma. That's the partially evil spirit into it. There is no intrinsic evil. All is good in Eastern religion. All is God. No forces in the world or in human opposes God. Now, this is the last one is important. Veiling the instinctive intellectual mind keeps us from knowing knowledge of God and self. Weavering mind. We have a weavering mind which may be due to our karma, whatever reasons we'll discuss that one. That's the one that stops us knowing, or we know this is right or this is not right, this one is right. No, we are veiling all that mind. Hell. On Judgment Day, we already discussed that. God consigns pure soul this. Hell is physical place where the body burns without being consumed, and one suffers the anguish of knowing he will never be with the God. So it's an eternal hell, and that's the concept. Now, in Eastern religion, one nice thing about hell is not eternal. Okay, you pay your dues. You did something bad things. You pay your dues. You come out of it. Only eternal things is the liberation. Okay, once you are there, There's no way you can come back. That's the eternal, okay? But the hell is not eternal in Eastern concept. You know, that is the only reason we are not afraid of committing sin. The reason is, well, if you truly believe that it's an eternal hell, do you really think, if you truly believe, anybody will do any bad things? Because the consequences are so bad.
But we are trying to balance.
No, thank you. I'm not saying about that. What I'm trying to tell, that eternal hell concept is so powerful if you truly believe into it. Okay, I don't have a choice. If I do bad things, I'll be suffering forever. If somebody tells me, my doctor tells me, you got 6 months to live, your cancer is spread all over the place, do you know my life will change? How would my life will change? Do you think in that 6 months I will do any bad thinking even? You see what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to bring it out. That once you realize, okay, this is it. No, I'm coming to the end of the road. And doctor already predicted it. And no, that was the big story on Sant Eknath from Pune. Sant Eknath, no, one guy, no, you know, disciples are always like testing the gurus all the time. He said, Sant, I know you're a really pious son, I know you're my guru and everything, but have you ever had a thought of ill in your mind? And now, what would the guru answer? No, because no answer is sufficient to convince. So Sant Eknath decided, okay, after talking few other things, suddenly he said, let me see your hand. The guy looks at the Sant and he becomes very serious. Sant, sir, what are you seeing? No? Oh, it's bad things. Next Friday evening at 6 o'clock, you will be dead. Just 1 week later. Now, when it comes from Sant Eknath's mouth, all right, there is nothing to, there is nothing to doubt about it. It's a guy, he's got aspirations in the time, he goes to home, tells his family, brings together all the families, and said, look, son has already told me I got only 1 week to live. He goes to everybody whom he had any animosity, ask for forgiveness. Please forgive the things. Any debts he had, he paid it off to everybody. Everything what he could do, now done. Day after day, the second day, third day, fourth day, doing all the bhajan, kirtan, whatever, he's doing it. Comes like Friday, he lies down on a bed at 6 o'clock because that is going to happen. And Sant Eknath appears 15 minutes before the 6 o'clock, right in his door. He was very happy. I'm really glad on my last moments. No, you appear and do that one. Sant said, okay, now let me ask you something. In this week, did you ever had any ill thought in the 1 week? He says, Babaji, what are you saying? I can't, there is nothing, no ill thought even occurred in my mind. Son said, look, I gave you 1 week and you did not have the week. All saintly people lives moment by moment. This is the only moment I have. Next moment, I am going to be dead. If you live life that way, would you ever have an ill thought? All right? So, naturally, when you are given 1 week and you never had any ill thought, even doctor told me 6 months and I still never had the ill thoughts of doing anything. All right? if you can live, only present moment is the only moment I have. I could be dead next moment, or I will be dead next moment, then do you ever have any big thought? It will never have it. It will never happen, all right? And the thing is, even though we all know we are going to die, but we live like our life as if we are going to live forever. That's why we do it, all the bad things, whatever the things, everything we do. The only surety is the death. And we never accept that surety, all right? And we all know, because that is the only reason that we know the things, but we don't live our life that way, with our own knowledge. So that is the point I'm trying to bring it out here. Okay, the eternal hell is a good concept in Judeo-Christianity. It just only one thing can keep you, doing any bad things at all in that region. And now we got like, oh, I'll pay my dues. We are not afraid of committing any sins because it is not eternal. That's the point. I'm trying to bring it out. Okay, next.
I do have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe you can answer it later or
Sure.
or now, but I'm curious because in Catholicism there's confession, and people make different arguments about whether more Catholics sin because they're allowed to confess and then it's off their chest sort of thing. Because in Jainism there's confession ritual, and so I wonder from a Jain point of view how you would answer that in light of this other question.
That will come on Sunday. Please, hold it off that one, all right?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
We will come to that one. All right. Conduct and virtues, I think we covered it, most of the things. Soul is immortal, deathless. There is more to the reality. I think both believe the same things in reality, okay? Now, let me bring the little bit important points. The doctrines tend to be simple, clear, and rational, okay? That's you to keep in mind. Doctrine is very simple. In instance, you believe in the scripture, follow the laws and rules. It's very simple, very clear. Okay? Worship and beliefs are formalized and required. You got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All the three religions took one day. The Friday, Islam, Saturday, Jewish, Sunday, Christianity. Right? These are all the 3 days, very formalized. All right? Simple worship and beliefs are formalized and required. Other parts are endured but not totally honored. It is exclusive and sometimes it's dogmatics. Okay? It's exclusive and sometimes it's dogmatic. Eastern religion, doctrines tend to be subtle, complex, and paradoxical. Okay, to understand the Eastern philosophy, it is not that simple. Doesn't matter whichever one you see it. All right. Freedom to worship and to believe in a variety of ways is predominant. Right. Any day, any time of the week, you can worship, you can pray, come in any time. Go to the temple, whatever is convenient to you. Nothing formalized. Other parts as accepted as God's divine will at work. It is universal and tolerant. Okay, if you really look into it, it is a tolerant, universal, and based on individual personality, you choose your own path. If your personality is devotional type, you choose Bhakti Marg. If your personality is the logical, like Gnan Marg type personalities, you choose that path. If your personality is action-oriented, Karma Yoga, okay, there are some people, the people who work in the kitchen in every society, they love to do it. They want to make sure everybody gets the nice food. Now they come over here, all right. Now you just they would not do anything. They just say, serve, and serve. That's it. Okay, so that is the path they choose. without any expectation. I mean, that's what they do. That's what the bhakti mark is. All right? And then there is a path of Raj Yoga. Okay? The yam, niyam, asana, pranaya, pratyahara, dharana, all the dhyan and samadhi, all ashtanga yoga. So generally, you know, so there are 4 major paths. And each path, based on your personality, you can accept it. So you got based on your personality, you got a good freedom to choose, and all paths will lead to the liberation. All right? If you practice it in a true sense. Ascetic life. Submit to God through self-sacrifice and concern for others. This is a very important aspect of Judeo-Christianity. Submit yourself to self-sacrifice and concern for others. The Aga Khan things now in Islam or in Christianity, all these, helping others, going out, it is significant, from any standards when you really look into it. Like we got, for Jainism, like we got only one organization like Virayat. No, they serve to the human. Rest of the time, we don't have any formality. I don't want to know the reason, okay? Why not in here? I don't want to be open in that. But what I'm trying to say, I got few youth example, real example. They wanted to do and serve others, going into the South America and help others, going to Africa and help others. And he said, Uncle, is there any system in Jainism where we can go via that system and go and work over there? And I said, no, we don't have any formal systems, systematically. That's what the Judeo-Christianity type offers.
How about the Sikhism?
Huh? Sikhism there. Sikhism is there. Okay. But the point what I'm trying to bring it out, Eastern in general do not have that system in place. Whilst the Western religions, except Judaism, I mean, in a sense, but mostly Islam and Christianity, which is the majority of them, have that system in place. All right. Value is Eastern religion through renunciation, self-discipline, purification, contemplation, and meditation. It's like a selfish religion. My daughter says that you are the most selfish person. Okay, you just think about yourself and nothing else, and they don't cancel. Because of they are grew up in this environment, in the cultural environment, and we don't. Okay, and we don't have that thing, that system in place. Okay, value is placed on an individual religious practice, sadhana. It's all individual. Sadhana is all individual. Yoga, meditation, super consciousness awakening, little emphasis on social work and concern. Okay, if we really want to establish Jainism, we got to think about it. Every society should think that how we can bring these things together and attract our youth who are born and raised in this country. All right, and the only way you can attract is like we do in our society, highway cleaning. And you do have good program. I'm not saying it, but like we adopt the highway and bring the youths, we get it done, so many things, so collecting the old clothes and give it to them, then we give it to the church donation, but at least the youth, bring them together, so, everything like that, food drives, soup kitchen, Sunday, all the activities we have it in Raleigh with a small center, but we make it, even though we visit interfaith groups. So, like we visit them the church, we take into mosque, right, and let them go and see and join their prayers, with that one, and get that exposure. All right. I mean, those things they love it. Okay, from that point of view, I'm just breaking it out. All right. Little emphasis on social and concern. All right. Worship is congregational, simple, which I already explained you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, simple, congregational, you come and listen and that's done. Centers around church, synagogues or mosque, Mostly on Sabbath day, Muslim is praying 5 times or 3 times, depending upon Siyak or Sunni. Okay, now one side does 5 times, another one 3 times a day. Worship is, okay, mostly on Sabbath in that way. Eastern worship is individual, more ritualistic and meditative. Centers around the temple and home shrine all day of the week. Anytime you want to do the worshipping, they're not like a formalized one. Okay? Now, so this is the common features. One and only one God, universe created by God, human suffering. I just summarize these points in one slide. Eternal hell and heaven, that kind of. Scripture has ultimate authority. Non-physical means God chooses the prophet. Congregational society is essential, and worshipping on Saturday. So all 3 names are discussed. Okay, Judeo, Christianity, and Islam. And this is the Eastern religions. Human suffering is like, again, soul's ignorance, and all this summarization, okay, which you can read it. Now I'm going to go Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, okay? So that's why I will be able to complete it by 9 o'clock in a sense. Okay? So let me go to the next presentation. Can you get me the 12? Number 12. No, not for PDF. No, you want the PDF, right? No, presentation is below. One below. No, this is, yes, now you got it. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to talk individually Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Individual religion. So at least we got some good flavor of the Eastern religions. Can you get me water? Yeah. Oh man. All right, let me take a sit a little bit. Now problem comes. I don't have the slides with me right to see them. All right. No, I can sit there, but that's okay. I can manage it. I'll manage it, okay? I'll find something tomorrow better, okay? So I will have my presentation with me, and that way it will be better. Okay, now we are going to talk about Hinduism. Of course, what we have done in the beginning, we have divided Eastern religion into 2 groups. One is called the Brahman system, which is Hinduism in majority cases, and the Shraman system, that's where Buddhism and Jainism lumps together. Okay, and then we'll discuss Buddhism and Jainism separately. Okay, first I'm putting 2 together in a Shraman system. Okay, Shraman system is a renunciation system. Okay, that's a Shraman, monks, ascetics, whatever you want to say it. Okay, both religion has. Okay, I think we already discussed that one, just common features gone. It's a repeating slide. Now we come to the Brahman systems. Okay, God is a creator, preserver, and destroyer, cyclic. Okay, it's the same God, same form, but it's a Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. It's a trinity, creator, preservator, and God is universe and universe is God. It's a synonymous, because God becomes the universe, so there is no difference. At liberation, soul merges with God or the universe, and soul becomes infinity. You lose your identity at liberation. In Hinduism, when soul attains the liberation, it merges the Brahman. When it merges the Brahman, you don't remain, your unique identity is lost because you are already merged. It's like river is meeting the ocean. So when the river is meeting the ocean, the river loses its identity. And it becomes like a one ocean. That's the concept. The individually soul is finite. Now it merges, it becomes infinite. All right? Highly ritualistic, elaborate and fancy rituals. Yeah, thank you. animal sacrifices in the past. Now, still there are few places, very, very minor, but what was in the past, the animal sacrifices, though if you ever read Mahavir's life, you can see the Gautam Swamis, and all Brahmins were doing all these yajnas and killing all these animals, and we come to that one. Scriptures have a certain authority in the initial stage of the spiritual progress. The Vedas, Upanishad, Gita, and Brahma Sutra. These are the 4 important texts. Oh, okay. That's good. Thank you. Now I got the thing. This is the high-tech does miracles actually. Okay. Of course, you know it. 1 minute. Where is that? Oh gosh. Okay, let me not take this one right now because, when you are at my age, which is I'm now 77, and I'm healthy, but I lost my hearing, I lost my eyes in a sense. I cannot see the things, I cannot hear the things. All right. So when you are okay, thank you. All right. So okay. Now the Vedas, we all know there are 4 Vedas. Okay. So that much I don't want to discuss. I'm just giving a little bit overview of these scriptures of Hinduism. Okay. Vedas. Now Upanishads, it depends upon what you believe. The number could vary all the way up to 108 Upanishads. All right. So Upanishad is the end of the Vedas, becomes the Upanishad. Okay. Vedanta, end of the Veda. That's where the Upanishad begins. And that one gets all the philosophy in it. And Upanishad varies. Of course, Gita is one book. Okay. And it is actually one chapter of the big book called Mahabharata. Gita is a chapter of a Mahabharata. That is a big epic. All right. And Brahma Sutra is also one book of Bhadna, right? Okay. So these are the 4 most important scriptures for the, and scriptures is in Sanskrit. Now there is the advantage of Sanskrit written language, because Sanskrit was never a spoken language, so the language don't change. Unless it is a spoken language, there is no, the language don't go to iterations. That is why you will never find different versions of Gita. It's not, it is the same. Whatever was there, okay, year after year, there is no change, because it is never a spoken language. It's a language of learning. Right? So the Sanskrit is a language you will never find, while both Buddhism and Jainism, their scripture is written in a spoken language. And that's why things change as time passes. Okay, words carry the different meaning. Whatever the 2,500 years ago the word has a meaning, that meaning could have been totally changed. By the times, generations up to generations when you come over there. And we are going to interpret in today's meaning environment, which was not there when the things were compiled. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful interpreting all Buddhism or Jainism scriptures.
Jainism is written in the Ardhamati.
Yeah, I'll come to that. Jainism is written. Okay, let me explain you a little bit. Sanskrit and Prakrit, these are the 2 languages. Okay, Prakrit is a natural language, spoken language at that time. And Prakrit language has a different forms. One form is called Pali Prakrit. That's where all the Buddhist literature is. It's still a Pali Prakrit is one form of the Prakrit. It's like, I'm from Gujarat, but Surti Gujarati is one thing, and Kathiawadi Gujarati is another one. All right, both are Gujarati. All right, but what happens is a different dialogue, different forms of the same thing. Urdhmagdi Prakrut, that's where the Jain literature exists. It's a Urdhmagdi Prakrut, it's a major language is Prakrut. Okay? Then there is a Sursuni Prakrut. That's where the Digambar literature, Southern literature exists. Okay? It's still a Prakrut form. So Urdhmagdi Prakrut is northern side. Okay? That's where the Svetambar literature exists. Sursuni Prakrut is where the Digambar literature exists. Now it's been developed, spoken in the southern part of India. So you will find significant Prakrut variations. Actually, there is a fourth form of Prakrut, I forgot about it now. But no, you can Google. And you find almost every answer, which I found it in that one. But anyway, but I'm talking about Pali Prakrut is the Buddhist literature, Urdhmagdi Prakrut is Svetambar Jain scriptures, and Sursuni Prakrut is Digambar. All right?
I was just saying Upper
Upper Brahms. There could be one, but I don't know whether Upper Brahms is a Prakrut form. Yes, it is. Yeah, Upper Brahms could be the one. And I don't know what literatures are being used in that language, or maybe later on things may have been added. Okay? Sure. Yeah. Can you repeat? Which one? Upper Brahms is?
Upper Brahms is a bastardized version of whatever
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Now let me go into the next one. Okay. The scriptures are in Sanskrit. We got now. Just a minute. All right. Oh no, that's okay. I got it. I'm done. Now, the systems of philosophy in Hinduism: Yoga, Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisasik, earlier Mimamsa and later Mimamsa. These are 6 systems of philosophy. Okay. If you look at the next 2 charts, okay. Next 2 charts is Yoga, Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisasik, earlier Mimamsa and later Mimamsa. All right. So let me go into this one. Why you do that one? There are 2 problems I am facing. The next 2 charts going together. Okay, that's why. The later Mimamsa, that is where now popularly known as Hinduism. Okay, not the earlier Mimamsa or the other 5 systems. Then their theory and name exist, but all the Hindus are practicing now the later Mimamsa, which is Hinduism. Traditionally, what we are knowing, okay? That is the Upanishadic traditions and emphasis on Vedic philosophy. That's where the later Mimamsa is, okay? And their subsects are the Shaivism, Shaktism, Vaishnavism, and Liberalism, okay? The follower of the Shiva, follower of Vishnu is Vaishnavism. Follower of Lord Shiva, which is southern part. Southern part of India is basically Saipanthi. Northern part is the Vaishnava. And there is a Shaktism. Shakti is the Tantric. Tantric Buddhism is Shakti. Shakti is the female form of the God. Okay? All Shakti energy belongs to the female aspects of the whatever I call it reality. Okay, or the God, okay, it's a female aspect of it, is the Shakti form, okay, and that's where the Tantric thing comes into it, okay. Have you heard about like Kashmiri Shaivisms? Okay, that's where the whole Tantric thing starts. There is a Tantric thing got introduced in Buddhism about 8th century time period, and the same thing at that time Jainism got introduced, the Tantric things, when Buddhism and Jainism got introduced. And that's where the mantra, tantra comes into the picture. If you read the Agam literature, there is no mantra, tantra in Jainism. Okay? Today, we practice basically all mantra, tantras, okay? Because what is the purpose of mantra in Tantra? Some divine energy would help. Now, if you can attain liberation with the help of somebody, it is not a Jainism. If you read Mahavir's life, even Lord Indra comes and tells him that you are going to go through significant upsarga and parisha, suffering. Let me help you. And what did Mahavira reply? No. No one has attained liberation with the help of others. Today, what we do is basically pujan.
It's a business.
Pujan. I'll give you my life story, in spite of. We are only two brothers. We don't have any other siblings. My mother lived with my older brother who is in India. She passed away at the age of 95, okay? Just recently, in a sense, about 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. So, now I was there, my brother was there, and they said, well, we got to do some religious rituals. So me, with a simple minded, let's do puja. Antra karma puja. That's the kind. So my brother has no knowledge. He doesn't really know anything about the religion. So he accepted it. In the evening, he comes and says, no, bhai, I don't think with our status we can do, antra karma puja or any kind of puja. We have to do puja. I said, do you really know the difference between puja and pujan? Because puja is for Tirthankar. Pujan is for Dev Devis. Yeah? Pujan for Dev Devis. Okay? Tirthankar is there on the first 1 or 2 slokas, and then it's done. Then all others are the Dev Devis. Okay? So if the pujans are Dev Devis, but because the pujan takes 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, depending upon the guys doing it, all right? It's kind of you are asking the favor from the Dev Devis. All right? To me, that is not even the religion, in a sense, because it is against the Jain principles, agamic principle I'm talking about, and that's things. He said, but no, you are not living in India. You are living in America. All right, we got to do this one. I said, I'm sorry, I just explained you, ask my opinion. You do, and I'll be with you. I mean, I don't know, bring my philosophy into it, okay? Because where the prestige, the social status you acquire, that's what you do. All right, and that's what the whole ritual comes. The worst thing what we have done, and I hate to say it, okay, I'm a little radical guy, that's why do you know when did the first time Navkar mantra as a mantra appears in the book? Listen, okay, just listen right now, okay, with the blank minded, okay? The Navkar mantra, in the Agam, there is no word Navkar mantra exists. All 45 Agams, there is no word Navkar mantra. I'm talking the whole word. Do you know what is the name in the Agam? It is Namaskar Sruta Skanda. The translation is Namaskar Mangal Sutra. It is a Namaskar, which is a Vinay Sutra. In Agam, it is known as a Vinay Sutra. When I Namaskar, when I do Pagela to anybody, it is a Vinay, it's a humility. Okay? That is the Agam name. Namaskar Sruta Skanda or Namaskar Mangal Sutra. It is a Mangal Sutra. It is a Namaskar. which is Vinay Sutra. It is the humility. And Acharya with the right things. I'm not saying wrong that time. It was needed at that time because many of the people fell into tantric. When Buddhists never had tantric into Buddhism religion, which is same as Jainism. But they realize unless and until you find some identity into religion where people go and ask for favor. Okay, you go and ask for a favor. It's a human weakness we have. My son get a job, proper job, said this one, okay, I come and pray. No, you ask for that one, all right? Or if he gets it, I will do these things, all right? You ask for the favor, all right? So it is a human weakness. If you don't do that one in the religion, they will go to other religions, okay? Like how many have in the religion, right? Kurdevi concept. Like most of the families in India has a Kurdevi concept. Like where you go for after wedding, or you go and do cheda chedi chutwan, whatever the things now they do. All right, it is in the Kurdevi. It's all Hindu god and goddesses. Okay, Hindu has that system. Hindu has a complete system. It provides anything you wanted it. There is a form. No, there is a form, existed in the form, and it is needed in the society. I'm not criticizing anything. As long as you know what you are doing, okay, as long as you have fully knowledge of what you are doing, then it is all needed. It has its own positive aspect. Acharyas thought, if we don't give them any mantra and tantras, then the Jains will be like, I was in Japan. And I was taking a tour in Japan. The tour guide said, every Japanese are born Buddhist, they die Buddhist, but they live as a Shinto. Shinto is ancestor worshipping religion.
They don't have any.
Yeah?
They don't have any.
No, what I'm saying is, they have a complete system in a sense. Buddhism did not have it. So now they come up with the Shinto. We have, because we are mixed with the Hinduism. Anyway, our culture is a Hindu. We don't have a separate culture. Jains don't have a separate culture. Okay, all our culture, marriage ceremony, the birth ceremony, the death ceremony is all our Hindu. Now we are creating our own marriage ceremony and other ceremonies, but in reality, and all Hindu priests doing the performance. There is no Jain priest is doing all these ceremonies or anything like that. So we are part and partial, in a sense. Like you just say, okay, somebody asks, what's your religion? It's a Jain. It's a philosophy, is Jain. What's my culture? It's still a Hindu culture. I have a Hindu culture. There is no doubt about it. Okay. It's not the thing I did, because Jains have no independent culture in a sense. Okay? If everybody is Jain, we cannot survive. Okay? Because we don't have an independent culture. We cannot, because who is going to do dirty work? Who will become bhangi? No. Untouchable, right? Hindu has it. Jains, do you think you will find it? What I'm trying to say, it's not, I'm not criticizing, I'm going to explain you what is the reality right now, okay? So keep that thing in mind, and it was needed at that time, they made it, and the best way to do it, make Namaskar Sutra as a Navkar mantra. So they don't have to go anywhere else, and that is the first time they got about, there is no specific time, but up to 8th century it wasn't there. And afterwards, it became. When did it become Namaskar Mangal Sutra becomes Navkar Mantra? There is no specific dates given. But if you read all 45 agams, you will never find Navkar Mantra. Word Navkar Mantra, I'm talking. You will find Namaskar Mangal Sutra. No? All right, but nothing like, a name mantra, what I mean. Just to explain you that mantra tantra got a significant influence on the human beings, that if every religion start accepting it, no, the tantric things, all right? And tantric thing, no, we introduce all yaksha, yakshinis, dev, devis, all that thing in the name Rakshak Dev, Shasak na Rakshak Dev. Now, that is against the Jain philosophy. What you don't need, Tirthankar Rakshak. Tirthankar Khud will tell you, no, I don't need any Rakshak. Okay? And we are the one, no, bringing, the things, and it is needed. Believe me or not, I'm not, really, otherwise we would not have been, Jain religion survived even. We would have been gone long time like other philosophy. In today's environment, we have to evaluate. In today's environment, whether these things are doing any helpful function or any hurtful function. And then you make, because that is not the scripture. All right, it is not in the scriptures. So again, you got to do your own reading, your thinking, and proceed. Okay, I'm proceeding it that way. All right.
Can you translate Raksha? Raksha?
Yeah, like Navi or Padmavati Devi. They are
the protector God. Okay.
You said like worship of deities.
Right. And what the acharyas did, because the Tirthankar is a Vitragi, you cannot ask anything, you cannot ask any favor. So they provided, so if you want to ask, you can ask from these Dev Devis. And they created all that things, and most of the things came the same name from Hindu. They put it into the Jainism. All right. So that it is not like something, where would you find all these things? Okay, that's where the whole thing really comes up, into it. And it is needed. That time, it was needed. I'm not criticizing at all from that point of view, because if you look at the environment they were in, where it's a debate environment, these things in environment, Buddhists and everything else, if you really look into it, and if you really study Jain literature history, you will know it. Okay, why certain acharyas, things were not there, they got introduced into it. Okay? But problem comes, once it is introduced, you cannot change. That's where the whole trouble comes into it. And the Dravya Kshetra Kal, keeping in mind you got to practice the religion, that's got wiped out. Okay, one of the principles. Anyway, all right, now, primary path of Hinduism. Can you, oh, you already done? Okay, thank you. You get the primary path of the devotion or surrendering path. Okay, you surrender all your action to the God's will. That is the path of devotion. All your actions surrender to the God's will. Like I told you, Gita is the one you will find all these four. Gita is the only book you will find all four in one book. Okay, that's it. The second one is the path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, which Jainism and Buddhism follows the path of knowledge. Okay, the primary path. Okay, primary path for Jainism and Buddhism is the path of knowledge, Jnana Marga. Okay, what is the Jnana Marga? Realization of unique and supreme self through contemplation. Okay, it is a contemplation. You realize your own soul, your soul, through contemplation, through meditation, in a sense. Okay? Path of action, this is a karma yoga. Now, this is different than karma philosophy. Karma yoga, you surrender all your action to the God. Okay? So, you do anything without any expectation. No expectation, you do all your action surrendering. Okay? That's called, there are no like Vinova Bhaves, if you really look into it, okay? All the Buddha and all the action is just all these things, you surrender. That's it. Not looking for the result out of it. Then the fourth one is path of self-control meditation, which is Raj Yoga. Okay? And that's where there are many Yoga Sutra books. Yoga Sutra is, whose Yoga Sutra is? The author? Patanjali. And Haribhadra Suri and Hemchandracharya use the Yoga Sutra and developed so many Yoga Vinchika, Yoga Drishti Samuchay, all the yoga books now that has been developed by these great acharyas and accepted in Jainism, which is nothing but Ashtanga Yoga, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayar, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. These are all 8 steps, the yoga, the ladder, and introduced not only, it is a Patanjali, great Maharshi in Hindu tradition. Haribhadra Suri accepted it, and that was the first book. Haribhadra Suri started it in the yoga, and Hemchandracharya in 11th century also compiled the books on yoga, and it becomes a part of the Jain system of the philosophy. All right? So that's the primary parts of the Hinduism. Hey, can you give me water, please? If you don't mind. Thank you. Just open it. I got to little bit take it, okay?
No, you can bring it from the top.
No, it's there. No, I got it. Sorry about this. Okay. Duties of individual. Next chart. The duties of individual. This is again the Hindu tradition. The Brahmin system, priests and intellectuals. The rulers, Vaishya, Kshatriya, the rulers and warriors, protecting the state from external aggressions and establishing internal order. So that is the duty of Kshatriyas, the warriors. All our Tirthankars came from that branch. Okay? The Kshatriyas branch. They are all Tirthankars coming from that branch. Then the merchants and artisans. Production of the national wealth. Now you see the dilemma. Those Tirthankar is Kshatriya. All our gurus came from Brahman community. And all the followers are from Banya. Right? Now you can just imagine. All 3 things now are right over there. All right? So, what I'm trying to just tell you, okay, everybody figures out what they want to do and find something from the scripture supporting them. Okay? That's where the whole thing really becomes it. Okay? From Kshatriya to Brahman and Brahmin to merchant people. All right?
I've never thought of that.
And even though Jainism has no caste, but have you ever seen Shudras are visiting Jain temples? Do they allow it?
I think they only.
No, by law they know you cannot stop it.
Yeah.
But what happens to that community or to that person?
Like you said, but like if somebody comes, they will try to ignore. Maybe in US, not in India.
So the point is this one. Now, what I'm trying to bring it out, Bhagwan Mahavir was the biggest revolutionary person. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, when we go through the Jain, he was the biggest revolutionary person. But later on, everything really falls out of the door. Because when you have a Brahmin is the guru, they bring their culture with it. In the Brahmin culture, women has no right. Okay? In the Brahmin culture. Because they cannot perform any rituals. They cannot recite any sutras. Okay? Jains, when Jain established one, the fourfold order. Okay? Sadhu, Sradvi, Sravak, Shravika. These are fourfold orders. Bhagwan Mahavir gave the Diksha to Gautam Swami. Bhagwan Mahavir gave Diksha to Chandanba. He did not ask Gautam, now you give the Diksha. You are the head. No, nothing. Bhagwan Mahavir gave 12 vows of the lay people to Anand Sravak and to the Sulsa Sravika. All 4 our Guru is Bhagavan Mahavir. Because it was nothing in between. Okay? That was the biggest revolution if you really look into it. Why I am saying it is revolutionary? At that time, when Chandan Bala was sold on the street, okay, to give equal rights to the woman by initiating Diksha to Chandan Bala and to Silsa Sravika, even 12 vows, 12 vrats of lay people, which Buddha did not do it. Buddha never initiated any woman until his aunt came after 3 years or 4 years and said, what do you see wrong in me? Why are you objecting any initiation of the woman in the order? He did not have any good answer and he initiated it. Okay, initiated her. Okay. While for Mahavira it was not a question. So how big revolution at that time, if you really look into it, what would be the biggest revolution? Giving all 4 equal rights. I'm just bringing out what our original religion is versus where we are to this point. And, oh, you cannot do that one. You cannot. I mean, if you really look into it, it's a real problematic situation. All right? Let me proceed further. Okay, ruler, warrior, kshatriya. So you got the, basically it's the duties of individual which really bite later on Hinduism because become a caste systems. And now based on the caste, okay, Shudras out. Even they are not allowed to live in the town. They have to live in the outskirts of the town. Okay, we treated them like a subhuman. Okay, in the Indian culture, even today in villages it is like that still to some extent. I'm not saying it is significantly law changes and the nice thing that happened, all the restaurant and everything, you cannot differentiate from somebody. Shudra is next to you eating it, you cannot say anything, right? Nothing like so. The things cannot be done by the religions, done by the government easily, and done that one. Okay. Now duties of various stages in the life. Next, let me proceed. Okay, student life, householder life, very discipline-oriented organization, retirement life, and renunciation life. So if you look into it, 80 years of lifespan, 20, 40, 60, and 80, or 100 years, then 25, 70, 50, 75, and 100 years. Okay, and then finally is the renunciation. That is all well defined in the Hindu philosophy. While Jainism and Buddhism, you can have initiation earlier in the stage. While you are young, you can practice it and you can progress it properly. Okay? Now, in the Shraman systems, Jainism and Buddhism, now we are going to go to Buddhism. Go to the next Buddhism slide. First slide on the Buddhism. I want to complete that one. Okay? Buddhism is very difficult to understand. And I'm going to try my best to explain you simplified way as much as I could. The Buddhism, supreme is completely transcendent, can be described as sunya, a void, an emptiness, and state of non-being. I mean, it's a bunch of words in one sense. Okay, what I'm trying to say, the supreme, which is the soul, supreme soul, but Buddhism don't believe in soul. Buddhism believes in reincarnation. Buddhism believes in philosophy of karma, but does not believe in soul. How many knew that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, all right, that's great. At least now you know. Okay, Buddhism does not believe in soul. Then question comes, if they believe in reincarnation, who reincarnates? Very simple question. If you believe in reincarnation, you believe in philosophy of karma.
Then the soul is reincarnated.
The
soul is reincarnated. The soul is reincarnated.
But Buddhism don't believe in soul.
They do believe in the reincarnation, right?
They believe in reincarnation.
Karmic energy gets
Then who reincarnates? I'm just asking the question. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I'll explain that one, okay? But she knows that. She knows the things. That's why I'm trying to say it, okay? I'm not going to put it down. But okay, I tell you, this is the most difficult concept, no soul concept in Buddhism. And you got to understand that concept properly. That's why I'm going to spend a few minutes understanding no soul. And yet believe in reincarnation, okay, and yet believe in philosophy of karma, and without being existing, without believing the existence of soul. Okay? All right. Now, let me explain you that concept in Buddhism. Okay? And every principles you can explain through story easily. Okay? Nagarjuna was a great Buddhist monk. Okay? Word Nagarjuna, the Jainism has also Nagarjuna acharyas. Okay? And Buddhism has the Nagarjuna, a great Buddhist monk. Once a king invited Nagarjuna to come to his courtyard and deliver the sermon to his people. So naturally this is old time. King sends the messenger with the message, all right, and tell the messenger to go and invite Nagarjuna on behalf of me with this message. Just read the message to the king, to the Nagarjuna. So the messenger reads the message. Sir Nagarjuna, I'll be highly obliged if you come to my courtyard. This is the king's message. Okay, to deliver the sermon, and so that my people in the courtyard will be benefited with this sermon. Nagarjuna listens the message, and he says to the messenger, please tell the king, no one Nagarjuna exists. Okay, he's telling that one, no one Nagarjuna exists, but I'll come and deliver the sermon. So messenger tells the king that no one Nagarjuna exists, and the king got puzzled. If he says no one Nagarjuna exists, then who is going to come? Okay, and yet he said that he will come that day and deliver the sermon. Well, anyway, there is no other thing. Now he got curious. He just keeping in the mind until the day arrived. So the king sends the chariot to receive the Nagarjuna. Okay, king sends the chariot. The chariot, Nagarjuna comes in a chariot, right at the gate of the courtyard. King is waiting, for his arrival. He is there at the gate of the courtyard. So he opened the door of the chariot and says, Sir Nagarjuna, I am really highly obliged. You accepted my invitations. And the Nagarjuna says, no one Nagarjuna exists. And king says, before we go further, would you explain what do you mean by no one Nagarjuna exists? Nagarjuna says, very simple. He points to the chariot. And he asks, King, what is this? That's a chariot. So we establish the fact, that's a chariot. Then he points to the horses. He asks, what is that? That's a horse. Is horse is a chariot? No, horse is not a chariot. Remove the horse. Okay. Then he points to the seat. What is the seat? This is the seat of the chariot. Is this the chariot? No, this is not the chariot. This is seat. Remove the seat. He points to the wheel. What is this? This is wheel. His wheel is a chariot. He's asking the same question. His wheel is a chariot. No, this is wheel. Remove the wheel. He started removing each and every part like that with the same question. Because remember, he started with the first question. What is this? That's a chariot. So he established the fact. This is the chariot. Now he's taking each and every part, asking the same question. Right? And king has to answer, this is not a chariot, this is not a chariot. He removes everything. Asks the king, where is the chariot? And the king says, I got the answer. Now I'm asking you, how many of you got the answer? Anybody can explain me they got the answer? Now I'll explain you the answer. It's very simple. The chariot is made up of all these components. Okay? This component, that's made the chariot. There is no such thing as chariot. But chariot is the horse, the wheel, the seat, no? All these various components that made the chariot. We call it chariot. But there is no such thing as a chariot. All right? According to Buddhism, every human being, every living being made up of all these sanskar. Okay, that's the Buddhist terminology for karma is the sanskar. Okay, that sanskar, I made up myself, is made up of all the sanskar together. That called Pravin. Okay, that is it. Now, my present sanskar, which is in Jainism we call it present karma, creates the future sanskar. Okay? In my present being was the result of the past sanskar. Okay? What I'm trying to say, okay, you don't need a soul to explain that. And when you get rid of all your sanskar, what happens? Nothing left, right? Nothing. So when I remove all my karma, what left? In Buddhism, okay, I'm talking about here. When I get rid of all my sanskar, which is my anger, greed, deceit, lust, whatever it is, these are all my sanskar. If I start unfolding each and every one of them out, what is left? Where is chariot? Yet we call it chariot in the beginning, which is nothing but the collection of all sanskar. I am nothing but the collection of all sanskar. I don't need a soul to explain that. Sure, go ahead.
I wanted to say that I do think that Buddhism makes a distinction between the 5 skandhas, and they all can be pulled apart and they analyze them as separate, and there's no soul. And then some scars gets throughout reincarnation gets passed along through the karmic energy. So I just think that I think the chariot, I always understood it as relating to the skandhas, and then the samskaras does get passed through in reincarnation.
Right.
So just add in that the skandhas idea.
Right. But this is the sanskar. My present sanskar is the result of my past.
Right.
And whatever action I do in the present environment, that makes me future.
Yes.
Okay? 1 minute, let me finish that one, because these are the required, because to understand no soul concept is the most difficult one. Okay, I'm just trying to grasp it properly. Just 1 second, okay? So, it is like you cannot swim in the same river twice. You know, you heard about that saying. You cannot swim in the same river twice because it's continuous flowing the water. Okay, it's a continuously water is flowing. So you cannot swim in the same river twice. All right, we call it, right, it's always that way. But it's a continuous flow. So my sanskar is a continuous flow. All right, every moment I get the new sanskar. My present sanskar create that one. I'm just is a continuously flow. Okay. what is the reincarnation? It's still a continuous flow. Only thing, you go into the different environment. No, you move from here, you put all your things over here, you go. So for Buddhism, it's just like one continuous flow of the sanskar. Your effort in the life is to get rid of all the sanskar. Jiveshna. I want to live at any cost. Okay? Once you get rid of your desire, desire is the root cause of all the problems, and we will see it here in the Buddhism. The thirst, I want to live. Okay, that's the cause of the problem. Once you don't have it, you are liberated. Huh? Thank you. He got that one. Who is liberated? He said, okay. So, no, he is right. Thank you. All right. Now, 1 minute. Yeah. I'll come to that one. Go ahead. Just speak a little loud so that.
To answer it, if you can, I have a question, and mind my ignorance. So, in our Jainism, do we believe that our soul is attached with our karmas?
Let me come to Jainism and we'll talk about it. Okay? I wanted to finish the Buddhism first. But first of all, what I did, I just tried to explain you the concept of no soul. And still you can explain everything with no soul. All right? What I'm trying to bring it out, that you don't need soul to explain all these things. Okay? It's like chariot examples I gave you, and I hope that will make you little clear now in this aspect.
It's just a theory.
Huh?
It's just one theory.
Sure.
It is not a factual theory. It's just one theory.
Nothing is fact in religion. Okay, 1 minute, keep in mind. This is the religion. It is a faith system. You have a faith. All right? There is nothing, it is not a science.
It is, Jainism is a science.
Okay, next. When I discuss it on Sunday afternoon, you tell me. Until then, you keep it. Okay, with you right now, Pradeep. Okay, I'm just going to, I made that explicitly clear. All right? Don't bring all you got to empty those.
It's not science, I'm saying it is. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, let's do it on Sunday afternoon. We will talk about it. Okay. All right. So the Buddhism, so next one, the man's true nature is divine and eternal. The greatness of self-giving love and compassion towards all creatures. Buddhism is the fastest growing religion in America. Do you know among learned? Among learned, Buddhism is the fastest growing religion. In population-wise, Islam is the fastest growing religion. All right, these are the two things you got to keep in mind as far as the population of Jainism is dwindling. Okay, that's no doubt about it. It's all statistics. I'm trying to present it out to you. All right. Now, the middle path. This is another concept you got to understand. The middle path consists of living moderately and avoid extremes. Okay, that's the Buddha's, the preaching of the Buddha is the middle path. Okay, Jainism, extremes. All right, either you do fasting, you fast, you don't eat anything. When you eat, there is no limit. Okay, that is the Jainism, right? So whatever we have saved during fasting, we make it up in Parna. We got to make sure that no. All right. What I'm trying to say, the extremism is always pendulum swings from one to another one, another to one. We forget why did we do the fasting. We will be talking about it now tomorrow in all the Jainism theory. And what are we trying to accomplish? Did we accomplish it after doing that one? Then yes, it has all meaningful. If we did not accomplish it, then what? I mean, that's the kind of the things, no. I'm just making little, funny so that we guys don't fall to sleep. Otherwise, no, these many hours of learning, all right, everybody will be sleeping because no lecturer will lecture more than 2 hours. No matter. He says, well, we lose the audience. I don't want to lose the audience that way. Okay. So anyway, the Buddhism. 1 minute. Where am I? Huh? The scriptures, right. The scriptures is the Tipitaka for Theravada, Sutras for Mahayana. These are the 2 major sects for Buddhism. Mahayana and Hinayan, they call it, or Mahayana and Theravada, which is the Hinayan. Okay. The Mahayana, this is a really compassionate Buddhism, in a sense. It is not a dogmatic religion, while Theravada is, in a sense, the written in Pali language, which is vernacular local language. Now for this, now next one. The 4 noble truths. Suffering exists. There is a cause of suffering. Cessations of suffering. And what is the 4th one? Just read just one more, then you come back here. And there is a path for 4 noble truths in Buddhism, and the 4th one is eightfold path to end suffering. There is an eightfold path to end. Now, first one, go back to previous. Okay, suffering exists. Being born, growing old, sickness, and death, all are suffering. That's by definition of Buddhism. Being born, growing old, sickness, death, all are suffering. There is a cause of suffering. Thirst. That's the key. Desire or a thirst to be and to become is the root cause of all suffering and rebirth. In other words, my ego, desire, ego, whatever the words what you do, thirst, to be or to become, that's cause of all suffering. If you don't have an ego, you cannot suffer. Very simple, very simple logic, okay? We all know the truth, we cannot practice it, right? Complete elimination of desire and craving is the state of nirvana. The nirvana means no sanskar left, okay? State of kevali, same thing. By definition, state of keval jnana or state of nirvana is the same thing. By definition. What is the definition here? It says, passionless peace, perfect insight, enlightenment, perfect knowledge or immortality. That's all. Next. Eightfold path, whether it's a samyak darshan, jnana and charitra, or whether it's expanding, doesn't matter really. Right belief, right thought or aim, right speech, right action, right livelihood or occupation, right endeavor, right effort and endeavor, right mindfulness and right meditation. Okay, and the mindfulness is the most important. How many of you have been through Vipassana meditation? 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, yeah, all right. The 10-day meditation, I highly recommend everybody to go. All right? That's what I can say. We talk about it, but we don't have a real good system for the Vipassana. I went there, it was the most amazing things what I learned in these 10 days, but my wife would not go. She says, 10 days, I cannot speak. How can you live 10 days? Because so when you go over there, they take away your wallet, they take away your driver license, okay? There is no newspaper, there is no radio, no TV with you. Nothing. There is nothing. They take everything away from you. You cannot do eye contact, okay? There is no eye contact with anybody. You just walk or you meditate. All right? You get up, 4 o'clock, 6:30 you got a breakfast, 11:30 you got a lunch, and that's it. Huh? No, you can't do anything. You can do anything. That is it. Except close your eyes and do meditation. God.
This is to be kind of pure form of Samai. It's like being in Samai the whole time.
I mean, whichever words you want to do it. We talk about Samaik, we never do Samaik. Okay? So, that's the point what I'm trying to bring it out, that the Vipassana is really proliferating all over the place, everywhere. Just if you see it significantly expanding. In the way the whole system is very, to me at least, I really enjoyed the Vipassana. Can you live happily by yourself? Do you need a company to be happy? Or can you live by yourself? That's what Vipassana can teach you. All right? Every time I ask the statistics, after a couple of days, at least 15 to 20% leave. They just quit. Okay, we cannot live by ourselves, happily. Okay, it's like a thing. In an empty room, you close yourself inside the room, and somehow somebody just gives you food and other stuff. Yeah? And how long you can remain peacefully in that room, empty room completely, there is nothing in it. Okay? How long it will take before you start talking to yourself? Okay? And not only the talking to yourself, when you start listening and answering to yourself, that's where the craziness really comes into it. Okay? So, point what I'm trying to bring it out, that in moksha, that is the only situation. You live by yourself. Even Bhagavan Mahavir is next to you, you cannot talk to him. You cannot talk to him either in the moksha, right? Everybody is the same way. What I'm now bringing out over here, can you live by yourself? By yourself, period. Okay, happily, peacefully. That's it. Whether you need a company for your happiness or not. That is the main Vipassana things. Right. So that's all about. Now next, Jainism. We come to that one now. Any question on Buddhism? Any comment, question?
Let me ask you, that's most part, eastern part of the world, like Japan, Indonesia, not Indonesia, those people believe in the Buddhism. But do they understand Buddhism?
Oh, now this is a $1,000,000 question. Do they understand Buddhism? Do you understand Jainism?
No. Completely what I'm different, like what you just told about the Buddhism. Is just what you told about the Buddhism. It's not the way if you will go to Japan or China, where they follow the Buddhism. They don't have any kind of knowledge about this one. What is like there's no life, no soul and all that.
Let me answer just brief. Generally, I'm a world traveler. Okay, I went to practically every country because through IBM I've been traveling. Okay, through IBM I've been every year I travel around the world once. Okay, and going to France, Germany, you can just name it. All the and my passion was visiting their temples. Okay, visiting their monasteries, and learn whatever we can learn out of it, because that's the idea. There is the idea that when you visit them, you become like one of them. Then and there you learn it. Okay, it's not like watching them, you learn it. You become a part of it. Okay, whatever the rituals they do, whatever the things are there, if you become a part of it, then you learn a lot. Okay, instead of saying it, other than that, I don't bring my Jainism hat with it. Okay, I just leave it out. That's the only way you can learn. And like Bangkok, I spent a week, and you can realize how they have a system that anytime the kid is a high school graduate, they have to go 1 year in monastery before they go to college. Okay, it's a temporary diksha for 1 year. That's it, nothing else. And they got the good experience, when you go and send the, of course it's only for boys, not the girls, okay, so that system is still old system, they bring it out. But what I'm trying to say, now that's a great system in a sense that you can experience the monastery life, and you live with a monk, it's not like anything else, and after 1 year you come back. It's just for 1 year, and every proud family will be proud if their son chooses to go. It's like I went to Salt Lake City. And look at the Mormon. And the concept of the Mormon is that one. They got to send their boys or girls to the monastery there for a year for the services. All right, they get the experience, they come back. All right, so I was just there for 4 years ago in Parliament of World Religion, the conference now for 2 weeks there, and visited all the places. And it's amazing, beautiful systems. That's how you learn, you experience, and you can see how each religion and each system really functions. On that one, and you get the best out of it. I mean, nothing.
I was in Japan for 6 months. I was in Japan for 6 months, and I went to all the like pagodas for them.
Right.
Pagodas, nobody actually understands. Like you go and burn the candles or burn the sticks, But like if you ask them what is that for essence and all that kind of stuff, most of the people don't answer.
Again, you got to do your homework and find the right people and right things. Okay, it doesn't, if somebody comes to Jain temple, do you think who is going to explain Jainism?
Well, Jainism is a different thing. That's what we learn. We can explain what we understand.
Who is here? Who is going to explain?
No, I'm talking about the priest in the pagoda. I'm talking about the priest.
I understand that. No, I don't have a good answer, believe me or not. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. I don't want to give a answer same. Now, okay.
I can say something real quick. I think in Japan, you have like Zen Buddhism. It is very much based on practice and Eightfold Path. But there's also a lot of Pure Land Buddhism where it's devotional. And I think that's probably what you saw was a devotional form of Buddhism.
Okay, last comment. What is your comment? Not okay. All right. Let me proceed now. Okay, I'll finish it up that way. So keep that things in the mind. I'm just trying to, inject something. But what I'm trying to bring it out. Each religion has its own uniqueness, its own beauty. All right. We don't have to, have a kind of a narrow-minded. If you look at it, every aspect of every religion, you find so many beauty in it. Okay. Sure. Right.
Do we believe that?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yep. There is no doubt about it.
On the other page we said soul is pure, and the sin is in the mind only. Then why would
We'll come to let me discuss the Jainism right now. Okay, I'm coming to that point. Okay, Jainism belief. God, universe, and life. God is not a creator, preserver, or destroyer of the universe. Liberated soul are Jain gods who are only knower and observer but not doer. Okay? The Jain gods are the liberated soul who as the characteristic is knower and observer. Gnata and Drashta. Knower and observer. Gnata and Drashta. Okay? I got into trouble once. I was invited by Swami Satchidanandji in the Lotus Temple to talk to Jainism. Talk about Jainism. They invited me. Now here is about 100 people, mostly Americans, right? And very few Indians. And I deliver the lectures. Now everything, Jainism, make my presentation. Then the question answer comes. That's the time, I get into myself trouble. He said, if Jainism God, you are saying Ananta Darshan, infinite knowledge, Anant Gyan, Anant Charitra, Anant Virya, right? All these things, Anant energy, power. What is the proof? That's the one question came from the audience. in Hindu God, no, it's like no all action-oriented God. The Hindu God is action-oriented God, right? So you can see what is the power. What's the? I could not know. I think and think I could not answer. So with my infinite wisdom, I have sometimes, okay, I think I would rather let Swamiji answer this question and give it to Swami Satchidanand, the whole thing back. Swamiji said, you are a very dangerous person. Okay. I said, I'm an IBM manager. I know how to pass the buck. Very well trained by IBM the business, right? The management. No, you know, either it goes to employee or it goes to the higher level manager. I never keep the bucks with him. So, but Swami Satchidanand answered beautifully. That's what I wanted to tell you. How did he answer that? Okay. I realized later on he was an electrical engineer. Swami Satchidanand ji at that time was the full electrical engineer. He said, I'll explain you a very simple way. If you need a car battery, okay, you go to the store. Any store has an all fully charged battery. And you buy one battery. You think that battery has an infinite energy? Okay. It is not connected, but it is fully charged. So it contains all the energy, whatever the maximum energy it has needed, right? If when the battery is put in the car, it still has the same energy, but it is a dynamic energy now, because it brings the car, moves the car, right? With that energy. Hindu God is battery connected in the car. Jain God is battery not connected in the car, but both are the same battery. It has the infinite energy. Okay, this is what he answered. Oh my God, I could not even believe it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Okay, there is a static one. Okay, but you got to accept that it has the same energy as the battery which is connected in the car. Okay, because both are fully charged. One is the dynamic God, another is the static God. And that's the Jainism, is the static God, and another is dynamic God. I could not even believe in my life. Okay. How many of you knew Swami Satchidanand? Did you knew Swami Satchidanand? Right. Okay. Anybody else? Lotus Temple in Virginia. If you have visited the Lotus Temple of right in Virginia, he passed away. Swami Satchidanand ji, about at least I would say 5-7 years ago, something like that. Okay, Swami. But it is a beautiful Lotus Temple, meditation place center, unbelievably peaceful, quiet place. Huh?
What town?
Virginia, near Lynchburg. Yeah, near Lynchburg. Okay. So, anyway, but I'm trying to bring it out that unless we have a concept clear, it's very difficult. We just right now infinite. We don't know if somebody asks the question. All these years, I was teaching. Nobody asked me that question except that. And I got lost totally. I said, I don't know what to answer. That's the point. No, generally, know what I'm saying. Now, we got few minutes. Because I'm going to cover Jainism tomorrow and day after morning tomorrow. So, this is just an overview. So I'm going to rush it now. In few minutes I'll complete. Okay, universe is made up of the two eternal self-existent elements, living beings and non-living beings. Okay, that's the Jain concept. Either it's a living being or non-living being. There is nothing in between. Okay, and the non-living beings is the one matter, space, medium of motion, rest. Okay, that you know all that thing. Principle governing the succession of life is birth, death, cycle, is karma particles, which are attached to the soul from eternity. Persons are soul I'm talking now. Okay, we will talk more in detail, okay, in the theory. Next slide. Life suffering. Ignorance, mithyatva, is the root cause of all suffering. Now here the mithyatva you got to be very clear understanding. You know, if I have to take maybe a few minutes, but I wanted to explain that. Mithyatva is the root cause of all our suffering. And what is mithyatva? You know, if you ask different people, ignorance, you know, somebody will say it, okay? It is not. Generally, if, I'll explain you through example, makes it very easy. Now, there is a world map, and somebody says, where is Africa? No, where is Australia? And you are pointing to Africa and say, this is Australia. No, but sorry. Somebody is asking, where is Australia? And you are pointing Africa, say, this is Australia. All right? When you say that is Australia, there are two things. I mean, you are swan saying, I know this is Australia. So what you did, there are two things. First of all, you don't know what is truth, but you also believe which is untrue is truth. Okay? The mithyatva has two components. First component, you don't know what is that, okay? You don't know the truth. If you admit, I don't know the truth, it's easy. You can teach them. All right? But when you say, oh no, this is the Australia, pointing out that, I know, my guru said it. I know exactly this is there. Don't teach me these things. There is no hope. You cannot teach that person. That is called mithyatva. Mithyatva does not mean you don't know. It is not the ajnan. But you also wrong things you believe. It is the right things and you truly believe.
Maybe according to you it's not Australia, but according to me it's Australia.
Whatever it is. What I'm trying to tell you, the mithyatva means is not only ignorant. What is untrue, you believe it is true. That is the point I'm trying to tell you, that to get rid of the mithyatva from you, from us, in a sense, it is the most difficult task. Because we come up with a bag, from back home, we bring it over here, we bring it every place else, and this is it. This is the right things. You cannot do that one. All right? And that why I never had a guts in the past to teach Jainism to the adults, because I cannot teach those who are learned. I mean, I was just finding out that I cannot teach them. Okay. Youth, I had a great time. Because of black sheets, so I don't know the things. You teach them, they are all happy, I am happy, everything was great. All right, now let me show you here. So the mithyatva means that keep in mind that all the time, if I firmly believe it is untrue, is the truth. That's the most dangerous. Okay, if you don't know what is truth, that's easy, you can understand it.
So if you only believe something untrue, but you are willing to know the new things, does that also constitute mithyatva?
Say it again.
If you firmly believe that it is untrue, but you have a willingness to know the truth,
then you accepted that what you believe is not, you are not firmly believe. Oh no, you said, well, I know this one, but let me understand. Maybe, no, I will find something better.
Yeah, that's
okay? That's not a mithyatva. That's not a mithyatva. That is if you don't know things, that's a gnanavaniya karma. But if you believe what is untruth is the truth, then it's a mohaniya karma. Okay? The mithyatva has two components. Gnanavaniya karma component, you don't have that knowledge. That's a gnanavaniya karma. Okay? That's okay. All right, that's no problem. But when you have a mohaniya karma, which you say, no, this is the right, that's it. All right? There is no way you can teach them or they will learn. Okay, that's the one, that is the mithyatva. Mithyatva is both components together. Don't say just a knowledge wise, okay? Not, if you have only knowledge, that's a gnana varni. That's not a problem. You can overcome it easily. Not everybody is knowledgeable. All right? Yeah.
Quick question. So can your intelligence make you do that?
Huh?
Can your intelligence make you do that? Like you said, you cannot teach the adults who think they are learned. So can your intelligence make you do this, like not agree to your untruth, and make you feel, oh, I'm right?
We will discuss it tomorrow.
I'm asking you, you can answer anytime.
No. The thing is this way, I come with that environment when I came to this country. And I learn from the children. Even though children think, no, I'm teaching them. No, they are the teachers. They are my teachers, basically. And that's what, because I keep my mind open.
That intelligence can make you dogmatic. Like, can you, oh, I'm intelligent enough, this is the right thing.
Right. Okay. So the point what I'm trying to bring it out, you have to be fully aware about your action. That's the only way you can do it. Otherwise not. Okay. Let me get going. The ultimate life suffering, ignorance, mithyatva is the tomorrow you will see how many times we come across mithyatva, and mithyatva, because that's the whole Jainism is in a one sense. Then Kashai comes. Now, these are the two aspects of it, but this is the most dangerous one. First, the karma is attached to the soul from eternity. Removal of soul, ignorance, hence free from all the karma. Now, ignorance here is in the mithyatva sense, okay, not just only the knowledge point of view. Liberated soul is all knower and observer, but not a doer, an ideal state of a living being, okay. So now get next one. Every living being is eternal, individual, and has a potential to become liberated for God. At liberation, soul remains finite, lives in moksha forever, and never loses their identity. Now keep that thing in mind. Hinduism, soul becomes infinite at liberation. Buddhism, soul becomes shunya. You got the two ends. All right? At liberation, soul becomes zero. Jainism, soul remains finite. Whatever my body, which is the same size my soul is. So you got one is infinity, another is zero. And so here Hinduism and Buddhism, Jainism took the middle road, since soul remains finite. Okay, but they are all quality.
This is where I have a little conflict in my mind. I think I'm going to address it later, but then we say that the soul that is pure soul has no shape,
No body.
There's no root. When there's no root, then how can it stay in shape?
Give me tomorrow, okay? All the things, I'm going to go into detail of all the aspects of Jainism starting tomorrow, okay? Nothing you will... Huh?
There is a slope for Gita.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, right now I'm just at the high level. I'm just explaining the Jainism. So write it down your question. Otherwise you will forget it. It's a good teacher's tactics. Like you said, I'll take it at the end, and when you ask at the end, they forget what the questions were there. Okay, all right. So anyway, the principle governing succession of the life cycle is a karma. Our ignorance and intention behind our action of body, mind, and speech bind us with the karma. This is the most important aspect of Jainism. It is not your action. Jainism is a bhav dharma. Okay, not what you do acquires the karma. What you do,
Why knowing?
no, the intention behind doing, okay, it is the bhav, reflection. That's what binds the karma. So if I thought of hurting somebody, whether physically I hurt or not, that doesn't matter. Being thought, I already acquired the karma. Okay, so keep that thing in mind. In Jainism, the only way you get the karma is only your intention behind your action, not the action. All right, keep that thing always in the mind. There is no exception to these rules. I'm just going to tell you that one. There is no exception to the rules. What is your intention? And the moment you have the intention, you already acquired karma. Whether you did it or not, it doesn't matter. Moment my intention is to hurt somebody, I already got the karma. Whether I really hurt or not, it doesn't matter. Okay? So, intention behind our body and our actions of body, mind and speech, in reality is the mind. The speech and body, unless it occurs in the mind, you don't speak or you don't do your action. Even though we call it man, vachan and kaya, but in reality it's only mind, because it's a bhav pradhan dharma. All right? Proper knowledge of the 6 universal substance, desire is the root cause of suffering. Again, this is same as Buddhism. If you have a desire, that's the root cause of all your suffering. Okay? And elimination of the desire by our own effort in order to attain liberation. Self-purification, penance, austerity and meditation are essential elements for the right conduct. Okay? Non-violence is the highest principle to be followed in thought, speech and action, and one must cease injuring sentient creatures, large and small. All right, these are the kind of the basic knowledge. Anything else next? Okay. Since human life cannot exist without some form of violence, one must live a life with a minimum violence to one's sense being. Because life cannot, non-violence is the highest principle. But human life cannot exist without violence. Because you need a food to eat, or you need organic food to eat, okay? So the violence is going. So what Jainism is telling, now I'm going to restrict myself religion of the lay people. I'm not going to talk about monks' religion, nuns' religion, okay? I'm going to talk the way I am and where I stand. And that's where I want to practice the religion, okay? So keep that thing in the mind, even that one, what we are discussing here is the religion of the lay people, okay? We can say, monks can do it, because monks can follow all 5 great vows fully, without violence, because they are not cooking. For their survival, they are not doing anything. They just come and bake for the food, all right, the gochri, and we give them. So that is not, when they are not the cause for anything. So we are not talking over that one. We're talking on the lay people's approach for that one, and that will be like tomorrow we will talk that. Karma philosophy applies to ourselves, compassion applies to all. This is the most important thing, misconception. If somebody is suffering, and if you say because of his karma he is suffering, that is the most cruel things you can do. If I am suffering, I can say, I'm suffering due to my karma. Okay? Karma philosophy only applies to myself. Karma philosophy do not apply to others. Only compassion applies to others. If somebody is suffering, if I can help, I should help. Don't think, well, if I help, he is not able to complete his karma, then he has to be suffered again. Have you heard about this logic? All right? That is the most cruel things you can do. All right? This is the most non-violent things, violent things you can do is when somebody is suffering and you are able to help, but because if I help, he is not completing his karma, so he has to suffer again, so I'm not going to help. Okay? So keep that thing in the mind. We have screwed up in sometimes interpretation, which we don't want to help anybody. Now we bring the religion into it and say, look, right, okay? So what I'm saying, karma philosophy applies to ourselves only. Compassion applies to all. The scripture is the Agam Sutra, written in Ardhamagni language. Scriptures guide moral and spiritual life, ultimately attain the liberation. Okay, that's it, right? Okay, I think, I apologize, I should have started with Navkan Mantra beginning, but at least let me conclude with Khamimi Samujive, okay. Thank you. See, I knew somebody is going to come and like me. Anything I'm not fully aware about what I'm talking about. Okay, but let's do Khamimi Samujive. Kamemi Savvajive Savve Jiva Kamantu Me Miti Me Savvabhuyesu Veram Majjam Nakyane. Thank you. Thank you everybody for listening, and I hope to see you tomorrow 8 o'clock for breakfast or 9 o'clock for a workshop. Huh?
Hello. Hello. So good evening.
Yeah.
I am
sure.
Rajesh. Sorry for getting late here. So tomorrow 8 a.m. we'll have a breakfast here. After that 9 onwards we'll have lecture. We have the seminars that will the workshop
Right
items
from
that
the beginning.
Okay. And tomorrow, if anybody wants to raise a questions or anything, either put it at the end of the slide or whenever in between, if they want to say something, please use the mic, right? Because what happens is, Pravin bhai has a bit of hearing problem, so we'd like to not repeat our questions again and again, okay? So use the mic, ask for the mic, we'll provide it wherever you are, okay? Once you ask the question, try to limit your question to less than 10 seconds. Okay, we don't want big questions, your background, your experience and everything. Try to limit your questions to the slide, to the items that we are discussing. Okay, expect an answer which may or may not be like your thought. The concluding questions, write it down, we can discuss it again. We don't want to get into continuous argumentations. Okay, so yeah. I think we'll have some more people tomorrow morning. Did we take the attendance today?
No, tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll take attendance tomorrow. Okay.
They are going to get A grade, so I'm not worried about it. Right? So
Actually, we should raise our hand and be recognized before we start speaking. We cannot start speaking without being recognized. That is the best way.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay, but anyway, I'm now really apologize if something I may have hurt somebody's feeling, because that's going to happen. All right, so please keep your mind open, intention, and if you don't like it, you just leave it here. Okay, don't take it with you. Don't take the things outside the door. Okay, just leave it. Whatever the things, you have it. Okay.
You're saying something? Yeah. Yeah, we'll make sure that we'll ask people to do that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Look, sir. Look at Yoga Shastra. Yeah. Is that so?
So I had a very
I would like to see. I'm not aware about it. Yum Niyam.
There is another. No judgment. I'm just
તમે ચેક ઇન કરી દીધું હોટલમાં?
ચેકિંગ તો કરને. રાજેશ પેલું લીધું તારું પાસે છે તારી પાસે એમાં છે ને તો રાજેશ મારી પેલી ક્યાં ગઈ મૂકી તો તું જાય છે તું દીકરા છે પછી નથી કરાવી કે વાંધો કરો તો પછી લઈ તારે આની સાથે જીવ છે આને જ કરેલું છે આપણે અમે બંને એક જ રૂમમાં છીએ
કર્યું કે નથી કર્યું?
ચાવી પણ છે
Okay.
not just
There was one more guy, right? There was one more guy, Patrick.
he may be there already.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know, you can ask him. ચાલો અને આપણે તમારું સામાન અહીંથી નીકળી જવું છે ચાલો પ્રદીપભાઈ
touch this power. It's not on. So there's the first button inside. In the middle, the top one will say that. Inside the left side. I think I'm just taking the power off on these. So that's off. What is this?
This is not series or projector is off. And camera is off.
You can get off. You like? I'm just going to shut the take the return off. What is this for?
Take it away.
This power is off.
I think they're using it for computer